How excited are you, Sable, about this truck being finished? For last video, we finished up the cooling system and kind of proofed it out. Also, I didn't show this install, but it's another little eBay oil catch can. I ran the same thing on the blue F100. I noticed that one was the one pulling vacuum whenever I left the cap on accidentally testing the coolant system. So this is directional. You want the side that has the oil baffle to be the one you're pulling air from, and the one that things can just drop straight into the tank be the potential pressure side. Also, always make sure that your catch can systems are vented somehow, either on the valve cover or on the canister itself. Because a crankcase will essentially build pressure, and you'll find out when you start blowing oil out of the rear mains. Realized while filming, I needed to put that clip up here. I've done so many little detail things while waiting to get the sheet metal back on this truck. For instance, someone had come in here and just twisted the wire back together on this turn signal marker lamp. So it all has heat shrink connectors on it now. Also, the truck had no horn whatsoever when we purchased it. These are a highly rated set from Amazon. It didn't even have the horn relay under the dash. It was completely missing, as well as the stuff we had to do rebuilding inside here where the horn button is. So yeah, nice high-low sound, super loud. Also, my friend Michael, he and his wife own Bigfoot Prints here, which is a local print shop, do signs and all kinds of stuff. He's printed me this sample to check color. So he's gonna turn the contrast down just a little bit and then print this like triple size so we can put it on our slosh tubs. By the way, found some $15 floor mats at Napa. That's my price range. Ordered these new strikers. It's been so long since I've actually worked on one of these trucks, I forgot they're supposed to have this little piece of nylon on it, which the other ones did not. And you either had to slam the heck out of the door so it wouldn't rattle, or it would shut normal, but the door would still rattle. If that's the case, it's because you're missing that piece. I wanna say these were 25 bucks for a pair of them, delivered from Amazon. And now, with little effort, door shuts like it's supposed to. It's not loose. That's perfect. Put the bed on, back bumper, tailgate. Actually did a little bit of changing to the molding and got rid of those corner sections. I just couldn't get them to not sag down. And whoever put these moldings on originally had put them too low. So the trim pieces had to kind of go up at an angle to meet the strip that we put on the tailgate. Just ended up running molding all the way around the back corner of the bed. It looks great. The tuner said he could fit us in this afternoon because it's the weekend and that's whenever he works. But I don't have the front end on because I'm still waiting for the vinyl to get printed for those slosh tubs. So I guess we're gonna put fenders on, run the wiring in them, get the battery mounted, maybe secure the lights and stuff to where it can be roadworthy so we can get it to him today. Gosh, I really hate being under the gun, but I don't want to miss this opportunity. So everything, wheels and tires, electrical is sort of just wired up for now. I'm really hoping I didn't forget anything. This is not ideal. I do kind of like where I put this overflow tank because this is going to be so busy with battery and air intake. I don't want the overflow tank there. So I guess I'll do a quick little once over. I did check all the lug nuts and lights and just kind of have those things zip tied up front so we'll be legal. Maiden voyage. There we go. So far, so good. Oh, you know what? Forgot to throw that tool bag in here. Man, these windows are gonna have to come down so I can get that AC charged. At least they work. Slowly. Ooh, this thing's filthy. Let's see. Yeah, that works. Might as well throw that in here. Have a speedometer, everybody. There's some serious sketch going on up there with zip ties, but that's how we do it. 1 mile so far. Not up to temp. Not really sure what's going on there. But at least I can see my coolant overflow in case that starts burping out. So that's handled. First gear slips. The rest of them are fine. So we're gonna send it for now. But he did say it's pretty peppy. Guess that's all relative. Luckily, these transmissions are just plug and play, so I'll just run it over to Wayne's real quick.
I'll have it ready here in a week or two.
All right. What do you want for this one?
I'm hoping to get 100 out of it.
Okay. The shop's always full of the coolest stuff. We'll probably be back in a couple of days. He'll have it ready for us. You know, I figure while we got the transmission and everything out, we might as well get this drive shaft checked over and balanced. So we got our slosh tubs wrapped, and man, what a pain in the butt that was. I took one back to the printer and had him help me put it on because I pretty much ruined the passenger side, but we're just gonna live with it because whatever, dude, at this point, they're $100 a piece. This one turned out great. He did have to piece some in and looks good. I like it. But as you can see, the front end is back on. We got the fenders done, the inner fenders. We routed our stuff inside the fenders wiring wise. The grill, the bumper, the Do It For Dale tag. And yep, with a little help from my friends, we got the hood on. So that's done and aligned, well, the best you can on a 37-year-old vehicle, I guess. We also found out the reason why these brakes were kind of sticking and now they're not. For some reason, right here were these shims, which pulled that caliper so tight, or pulled the brake pad so tight against the outside of the rotor, that thing would barely turn. So those are out now. Not sure what the idea was there. This is a pretty inexpensive air intake tube from Speed Engineering that I ordered a while back. It's for like a 99 to 2005 Silverado pickup truck. And we just kind of did our own little thing with it here to get this to work. And we did test and made sure that we had hood clearance. So that's good to go. I don't have it tightened down yet because the engine is kind of resting on a jack stand back there. It's gonna come up about a ½ an inch or more, which will lower the throttle body maybe a ¼ inch. It gives even more clearance underneath the hood. Some of you may be interested to know exactly what Wayne does to these transmissions. So what we're waiting to get done on this is the 4L79 drum, which we covered that in another video. That's the bad boy parts that adds more clutches to these and makes a 4L60 stronger than a stock 4L80. And then you can see the other parts that he puts in here. Reprogramming kit, basically, I think is a transmission term for shift kit from Transgo, and it has like all the little steps and instructions. He usually throws that in with his invoice just so you know kind of what that's going to do. Now that the transmission's back in, kind of checked over everything again and got it back on the ground. When I pulled it out, kind of gave it a look, I noticed it was way higher on the driver's side than it was. Oh yeah, personalized tag came in. The passenger side was much lower, and I found that interesting. I know that I turned these front ones the same whenever I did the coilovers because I counted how many threads. The weight of the truck shouldn't be that much difference. The only thing I can think of is the battery is on the right front of this side, but everything else, both tanks are full of fuel and they're equidistant from center. So to make kind of a fix, I relocated where this coilover was into its highest position. That one's still right in the middle. And then not only, which you can see these bolt holes right there is what we're talking about, it was still off, so I actually ran this up like 4 threads on the collar. That one's all the way at the bottom to try to get the truck to sit level on this chassis because honestly, it looked terrible. Transmission, as soon as you give it the throttle, there's no slippage there. I may have got my steering wheel off a little bit when I was messing with the steering shaft. Make some adjustments there. Whoa, it holds gear a long time. I know there's about 3 gallons of transmission fluid in it, but it does have a shift kit too. Quick update on our way to the tuner. I did the speedo calibration. It was super easy to just drive it 1 mile. I'll probably check it with my phone to see how accurate it is, but it makes all of our gauges work. So one less thing. We're done. Fully tuned up, good to go. We do have a pretty nasty exhaust leak around number 8 cylinder, which just annoys the crap out of me, but I guess we'll deal with that at some point soon. But most importantly, the truck runs and drives in his tune, runs great on the highway. 75 mile an hour is like 2,300 RPM with the gearing and the tires, and the torque converter locks up. So we're good to go. Next thing, last thing, charge the AC. The machine will verify that we don't have any leaks when it pulls a vacuum on the system, then it'll ask us how much pressure to put in this bad boy. Oddly enough, we pulled in right behind this square body, and if you'll notice, it's kind of a semi-short bed. It's like they cut the front down for short bed length, but didn't trim the inches off the back, so you end up with a 7-foot bed, which is interesting. And apparently this thing's got a 500-inch caddy motor in it. Also chilling in the shop, little turbo T-type. For some of you old school guys know about that 3.8 liter life. Pretty neat car. It's really straight. Honestly think some side-by-side UTVs run bigger turbos than these now. And there's this little fella. Nice tubbed out S10. Full race situation here. Little single turbo LS. When you install one of these AC systems, sometimes this is like the longest 10 minutes of your life when it pulls that vacuum down to see if you have any leaks. Well, it's rather disappointing. AC did take a charge and didn't leak, so that's all well and good. But when the compressor engages the clutch, it's misaligned immediately, and the belt can't decide which rib it wants to run on the compressor pulley. I noticed the belt was kind of bouncing around, so I came up to the parts store and just thought I'd just swap them while they would let me. So, turn this air back on, and it seems to have fixed it with just a smaller belt. Now that we're back from the parts store with the correct belt, I like to do this little test to kind of show how well the AC works. The truck's not been shut off since we made our drive home, so I don't know if we can get like a temperature read on things. 103 concrete reads, 102.4. So it's definitely not cool outside. Open the hood. Yeah, that's plenty cool. That's our build. It is officially finished, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. It was really fun doing it, and it didn't take as long as some of these frame up jobs that we do. There'll be a little minor stuff here and there that I'll work out, like alignment and things like that. I need to retint that window because when I went to roll it down, it was peeling up. Anyway, small details that aren't worth delaying the video to finish this complete build up for you guys. Be on the lookout for a King of the Open Road coverage, which is coming up this weekend for me, and no telling when for you, because you may be watching this video in 2027 for all I know. Appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you later.